Hi, it's Marcus here at Mooloolaba Music, and today I'm going to show you some of our Mesa Boogie amplifiers. This one here is the California Tweed 6v6 220. So we're pretty excited to have Mesa Boogie here in the shop. It's been a while since they've been in the country, and we have received our first shipment, and this is one of our little prized possessions of our Boogie amplifiers. So the California Tweed series is Mesa Boogie's homage back to when Randall Smith, the founder of Mesa Boogie, started working on amplifiers back in the late 60s. So he was repairing amplifiers and famously did so for guys like Carlos Santana, who would discover Randall's actual amplifiers that he was building and kind of coined the name Boogie. So Randall, back in the 60s, was working on some of these amplifiers, and he found an appreciation for a lot of the 50s amplifier circuits. And so he was taking the ideas of those circuits and building upon those, improving them, and creating what became the Mesa Boogies, those first run of Mesa Boogies. So the California Tweed is taking it back to what Randall was first doing and working on those circuits, and then improving on those. So of course it's a 50s style circuit, but with now a lot of great modern improvements. So the 6v6 220, it is a 6v6 valve based amplifier. So we've got a pair of 6v6 power valves in the back, and we've got a bunch of 12AX7s, 5 12AX7 preamp valves, and also a 12AT7 in the reverb section. As you can see, it is a single channel amplifier, but don't let that fool you. This is a versatile little tool. It has great capacity to get a lot done and to really fine tune the sound that you're wanting. So single channel, but we've got our gain, treble, mid, bass, presence, and master volume control. So between our gain and our master volume, we can obviously set our gain structure the way we want, but still be able to control our volume. So whether you're wanting to push it into a classic overdrive sound or a real bluesy driven sound, or if you want to keep that super clean and crank up that reverb and get a real surf rock sound or a very modern clean sound as well, it's there. So you can muck around with that with the gain input and the master volume. So over here we have a multi-watt control. So it is a 20 watt amplifier. We can actually scale it back from 20 watts down to 10 watts or even back down to 1 watts. This is not done through any kind of digital trickery or anything like that. It is actually done through the valves and your power scaling through setting into a pentode mode or a triode mode. So we're actually achieving that through an analog way. So still all analog, all valve circuitry as Mesa Boogie have always done. So we can scale our wattage back all the way down to 1 watt, and you can crank that master volume, set that gain where you want. So if you're wanting to crank out some classic sort of Carlos Santana sounds and get that real thick bluesy rock sound, absolutely. You want to get a real chimey sound for at lower volumes and play some Keith Richards kind of vibes, you can definitely do that as well without having to blow the roof off with volume. Very versatile amplifier. As I mentioned before, reverb as well. So the reverb control is on the back. We actually have a spring reverb in here, and it's going through the 12AT7 valve, which I mentioned before, but you can control how much reverb you want in there and saturate it as much as you'd like. The other thing over here, I'm plugged into the normal input. We also have a low input, which is something that they did back in the 50s and 60s. So if you had something like a humbucking guitar and you wanted to get a bit more of a cleaner sound, you could go into that low decibel input, or you could choose with your single coil guitar to go into the high input. There's no rules. You can go into any one that works for you, just giving you more versatility in whether you're going for a clean or a bluesy or a more rock sound. So fantastic sounding amp, and I have to say it's an incredible looking amp as well. I love the beautiful cream white Tolex, the Tweed on the front, and they've also put their Boogie logo on here, just like the original amplifiers with our little Boogie logo here, and a cool leather brown handle on top. So that's how it looks. So how about how it sounds? have a little play around again, and you can feel welcome to come into the shop, have a play as well, plug in. We'd love to have a chat with you and see what you think about these amps as well.